That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Yeah. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
Oh, God.
Here we go.
Here we go. What's going on, OneCast fans? Welcome to 2025.
Woo, wow.
Yeah, and the first episode of the year. Now we're at 3 years of doing this show. 2 years.
Well, yeah, 2
2
plus
years. 2 and some change.
2 plus 1.
Yeah. Crazy.
It is.
Glad to be here live. Obviously, this is going to be live. I don't even know what I'm doing. It's been so long. We're going to record this episode live, but we're also going to drop it recorded next week for all of our listeners who aren't able to tune in live and listen to the recorded episodes. So we're just going to kind of recap the holidays and talk about some fishing. But before we do that, as always, we need to thank those that make this possible, starting with OneCast Fishing. You can head over to OneCastFishing.com, use the code TheOneCast, all one word at checkout. You can grab those long neck hooks, weedless Neds, the snagless jigs, soft plastics, especially one in particular where we've got a special color coming. And I'm going to lose about 5,000 of them on fish this year. So I'm excited for that. I don't mean lose. I'm going to go through and catching that many.
Yeah.
So we'll look for those to come out. Hi, Emerson. I hope you're doing well a little bit. I miss you. Chelsea, what's going on? Asleep at the Reel, what's going on? Trey, after they go to OneCast Fishing, where do they need to go?
Yeah, they need to head on over to CarolinaWatersNC.com. Those guys have been supporting us since pretty much day one. They provide all that outdoor apparel that you're looking for, your UPF shirts, your buffs, your gloves, your hats, all that good stuff. Right here out of North Carolina, check those guys out. They're also going to be those Carolina Waters and OneCast Fishing. If you're in the Raleigh, North Carolina area on the 10th through the 13th, if I'm correct, or 10th through
so this is dropping Thursday. So tomorrow, Friday.
Yep. So check out the Raleigh Bass and Saltwater Fishing Expo, which is held up there in Raleigh. OneCast Fishing and Carolina Waters is going to be there. So head on over CarolinaWatersNC.com. Use the code TheOneCast. Get all that UPF gear to stay protected from the sun. Stay protected from the bugs. They got the Buck Stopper shirts. So hunting season just kind of wrapped up here in North Carolina, all over the country rather, and support those guys. And then also use the link, as Pete was just about to say, use the link. Don't use, you can use the website, but use the link to take you to HobieEyewear.com. It's always located in the description and in the comments, and get yourself the eyewear that Hobie provides. They got great series, different lenses, different frames. We love the floating frames because we're anglers, and so there's nothing worse than losing your good glasses that sink to the bottom of the lake, but you're not going to have that when you got Hobie floating frames. Use that link. It's going to save you a bunch of money on already great sunglasses, and we're going to get them on here in the future to talk about some of the new products that they have to offer. So use that link at Hobie Eyewear. And then, Pete, where else do they need to go?
Yeah, you need to go into your app store, and you need to go download the
deep dive. What happened?
Your brain ever just randomly shut down for a second?
100%.
Yeah, that's what happened. TBI. Go into your app store, whether it's Android, Apple, download the Deep Dive app. It's something Trey and I have used for almost 2 years now. Before we were ever affiliated with them, you can check water clarity, conditions, wind, find those wind blowed points. You can get suggestions on what areas to start as far as where the fish should be based upon weather, things of that nature. It'll give you lure suggestions on where to start, color suggestions, water clarity, depth. There's new features added every day. I can't even keep up with all of them. That's the Deep Dive app. You can find that on your app store, whether it's Android, which is what the Google Play Store, or the Apple Store. And 2025 first episode brings us a new sponsor. So super excited to be working with Terry Carpenter, licensed North Carolina realtor at Caldwell Banker, Howard Perry, and Walston. Terry Carpenter, you can reach out to him for all of your Raleigh and surrounding area real estate needs. We used him when my wife and I bought our house. Terry quickly became family He's going to bust his butt to find you the home that you want. He's going to be real with you. He was real with us, let you know how long it may take depending on where you want to be. He's up to date on pricing. All of that stuff. Has a great network of lenders to get you in line with if you don't have that squared away. So I highly recommend Terry. Again, that's Terry Carpenter, licensed NC Realtor at Caldwell Banker, Howard Perry, and Walston. There'll be more on Terry. I got to write up his official blurb, but I don't want to delay getting his name out there. I want to confirm we can share his phone number. But in the meantime, if you want to get a hold of him, you can get a hold of him at Carpenter T. That's CARPENTER T at HPW.com and let him know what you're looking for, where, and Terry will get to work. We call him Uncle Terry now. That's
Uncle T.
Yeah, he became family. So super cool. He actually sent us a really cool housewarming gift, but then he does some bass fishing. We talked about it a lot when we were looking because he asked, what are you looking for? And Chelsea had a laundry list of items. And I said, my boat to fit in the garage. And that was my one request. But he sent us a really cool, very old tackle magazine signed by Bill Dance.
Oh, that's awesome.
That his uncle had. So we're getting that framed and going to display that in the house. So definitely check him out. Again, more information coming as I write up a little bit more official stuff, but didn't want to delay getting him out there. Nick Kincaid, what's going on, brother? We did talk about Carolina waters like we always do at the beginning. If you're in North Carolina, or if you're not and you want to rep some awesome gear and you're looking to get into the pro staff kind of game, Carolina Waters is taking applications for some additional pro staff. You can get some discounts on some gear, some codes to share with your followers. So make sure you hit them up if that's something you're interested in. It's a really good team to be a part of. And if you're just getting started in that world, it's a good team to join because there's a lot of sharing and collaboration. So super, super glad to continue our relationship with Carolina Waters for 2025 and all of our sponsors that have been with us for such a long time.
I mean, they're more like friends. They're not even,
Yeah, I say partner sponsors, but they're more like friends at this point.
They are friends.
We fish against Nick and Fishers and Men and fun fish with them. And, it's not the typical working relationship. So
yeah, I appreciate Carolina Waters putting me on. I look like I'm on the cover of the
poster boy. I'm
the Rolling Stones magazine, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like or Time or whatever your flavor is, but appreciate Carolina Waters like hooking that up. And man, you guys' friendship is it doesn't go unnoticed by any means. So 2025 is going to be a great year, man. Like right now it's frigid.
Yes.
It is absolutely frigid. It's funny because you came from the frigid weather up there in Pennsylvania. Yeah. So you brought that down. We always talk about like, man, don't bring the rain with you and stuff, but you brought that down. But I'm looking forward to 2025. And I know a lot of people are probably still traveling back from the holiday season and stuff. And they're probably dreading that Monday coming up. You know what I mean? Like at January 6th and stuff like that. So, but we've been doing a little bit of fishing down here. Or at least
you have. I haven't, man.
At least
I'm ready now. I took a little bit of a break.
Yeah, I mean,
been out there schwacking them. And
I mean, this is the funny thing. Like, if you guys live around, spotted bass fisheries, and not saying anything against a largemouth, but if you live around spotted bass or smallmouth bass, you guys all know like they typically bite in the cold weather a little bit better than your largemouth species. And you can still go chase those largies and actually catch really good ones. They've been catching some good fish on Jordan Lake and stuff like that. But as the winter progresses on, like I'm going to stay outside of that Piedmont region and still hit those lakes that have like those big spots and stuff. And I've been having a blast, man. Like, yeah, it's a forward facing sonar type deal, but if you're recreationally fishing, like it doesn't matter what's pulling on the other end of the line. So I'm excited to be fishing, excited to have Pete back here. Ben unfortunately had a loss. We're praying for you and your family. He had a loss in his family. So, guys, keep your heads up and pray for him. I also want to throw out a prayer for our friend Jessica Blackman over at Black's Tire and Auto. She's been going through some health issues, and while we don't have an official partnership agreement with Black's Tire and Auto, they've taken care of us for a long time. All of our maintenance needs, our tires, our boat trailer tires, like you name it. So she's been kind of down in the dumps with some sickness going on. So hopefully they get everything squared away with her, and we'll keep her in our prayers too. But yeah, man. What are you? First of all, how was your Christmas?
was good. It was long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love my family, and I know some of them are going to watch this, but when you're visiting somewhere and you have two families and they don't live in the same town and you got to travel around and visit everybody, it's a lot of work. I really enjoyed spending time with everybody. We got to hang out with both families, a fair bit, and spend time with my nephews, seeing them open their gifts Christmas morning, all excited because of Santa and all that. So that was super fun. But I was worn out, man, like driving all over the place, and then you're eating like crap because you're not at home. So you end up going out half the time, and I feel like I gained about 42 pounds. So I'm ready to get back to eating right and getting fish in shape. I'm looking forward to getting back on the water and getting started. I got to go to the lease and clean up from deer season, but after that, it's all fishing.
It's all fishing. What was one of your favorite memories from when you were up in PA with your families?
Oh man,
I put you on the spot.
You did. I didn't know that was gonna happen. That's kind of messed up, but actually, like probably, favorite memories. We just had a lot of laughs, man.
Yeah,
it was good. Chelsea lost her dad a few years ago, right around Christmas, and it's always been, the first couple years. Not that they're not all tough, but the first 2 years were really rough. Not having Frank around, and so I think just seeing everybody kind of back to happy and saying what a good Christmas it was and hanging out. So just the time spent. I mean, you can get all the gifts and all the stuff in the world, but time is really, you never hear anybody asking for more junk when they're laying on their deathbed, right?
That's right.
Everybody wants one more day or one more hour, or they just want time. So I think that time was probably my favorite part, and just being able to hang out with everybody, all of Chelsea's aunts and uncles and cousins. One night we got to hang out, and it was just super fun, man. Yeah. How about you?
Man, I'll tell you this. I think I might have said it. We had one more Fishing Friday live. I don't know if it was right after Christmas or not. But Christmas Day, the internet went out at the house, and it was, like you don't really realize how much the internet has an impact on like you paying attention to your family or your family socializing with each other, but it absolutely does. And maybe you guys on here can attest to that. But the internet went out on Christmas Day. I probably spent 3 days with the family just playing Mario Kart and board games, card games, things like that. But it doesn't take long, like it can be exhausting. Like you said, like we've went back, I think maybe a couple times to Michigan since we lived in North Carolina. And you're absolutely right. Like outside of the memories made, like it's very exhausting. It's super exhausting because you're there, they all live there, and you're trying to bounce back and forth and see everybody and stuff like that. So it can be exhausting. And I'll tell you, it was nice just staying home and being with the family. But I got the itch, while I was even at home. And I was like, you know what? I need to go out to the lake and, burn some gas and make sure there's no ethanol buildup in the fuel. And for those of you guys who live in the north, you guys know what it's all about to winterize your boats. You don't really winterize your boats down here too much. You do lower. I recommend you lower your engine, trim it down. Which mine's actually not right now because I came from the lake last week, but trim that engine down, drain all that water out, get that out of the lower unit so it doesn't freeze and crack if you don't have a heated garage.
Better get that tonight.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that after
like 23.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it was a great time, and just seeing the laughs of the kids, and kids are getting older, and 16 and 13, essentially 17, 13. So just spending time with them. That was the best part about it. Let's talk about some marginal, not marginal, but some tangible things outside of the memories. Was there anything in particular that you got as a gift that you're like, holy crap, I wasn't expecting that, or something that really is pretty cool?
Man, a lot like you, we're kind of the same, like practical gifts are kind of more important now, stuff you can use. So Chelsea took time to watch a bunch of YouTube videos on Lake Murray around the time of the year we're going, and then bought a lot of the baits that won tournaments around when we're going to be there for the national championship, and got me those. So that was really cool to me. Yeah. One, because she already pulled videos that now I just have to go watch because she saved them all.
Yeah, you're going to have to share them.
Saves me a bunch of homework, but just a lot of thought, into that. So that was really cool. And then her her uncle got me, like, her family does a white elephant. And he got us this really cool, I say us, it was me, but it's for both of us, this really cool, like, serving fork and knife, like it's an old antique duck head. It's just cool looking. It was all silver. So
yeah,
those were probably the two most memorable, but a lot of good stuff. I mean,
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's all stuff, but
yeah,
those two were cool.
Yeah, but there's certain stuff that means a lot, and that is kind of like a one-time thing, like you can't really replicate it or anything like that. My wife got me a really funny coffee mug, so I really like that. And then same thing with you, like if you guys look up here on the wall, that little black thing right there is a koozie holder she got for the podcast room. Functionality, utility behind it, a line despooler, which is gonna save on time and really expedite the process. And then like a little mobile vacuum. I know you guys all know about this, but like loose line and loose soft plastics. It's not going to suck up a soft plastic, but it'll suck up pieces of them. It'll do its thing. And then, vacuuming out the compartments and stuff on the boat are important, especially when you're running like all season long and trying to get that stuff squared away for off season, not really off season, but after tournament season. So a lot of things that just had utility, right?
Yeah.
Like those were the things that I really enjoyed this year. So, but I'm ready to stop lip smacking here and
been a bunch.
Get back to fishing. What's going on? Is there anything really going on in the fishing world right now?
Not a ton. The elites finalized their roster, so 104 anglers. I haven't gone through the whole thing yet. I think that came out like yesterday or the day on New Year's Day, something like that. So you need to go through that and dissect that a little bit. We'll do some preview episodes coming up. I really just want to get out on Jordan because they've been banging, and I know that they're catching a lot of those fish on A rigs. And I really like doing that in the winter on Jordan with an A rig is a ton of fun to me.
Yep.
And then I need to get up to Gaston where you've been schwacking them too. That looked like a lot of fun. Just ready to maintain. Last year I waited till just before the first tournament sort of to get back into the grind, and I don't want to do that this year. So want to shake that rust off, get out and do a little fishing. Probably take a trip over to the river here and see how that's fishing. That can be really good in the winter cranking. So might take a ride over there one weekend. But yeah, man, I'm just not a lot going on in fishing. We've, bass, MPFL, BPT, everybody's schedules out for the year. So we'll talk about those in detail. I'm excited for the MPFL's roster because if any of the names on the supposed league list are true, it's going to be a super competitive field. I'm not going to announce any of those leaked names just because it's not my place. They have to announce that with their sponsors and all that. And if you listen to our episode with Paul Benson that dropped last Friday, he talked about, folks that are coming over and that leak list. So just not going to talk about that, but when they announce it, we will. And I'm super excited. Hopefully half the names that were leaked are coming over because there's some really good sticks to add to all the local really good sticks. And the level of competition just keeps going up in that league, and excited to see what 2025 brings for them. Excited for the Bass 2025 season, and especially with all the forward-facing drama of last year. And hopefully we can just get back to fishing because their schedule is a little bit different. BPT's got a fun schedule. I mean, our Fishermen schedule is laid out, going to be a pretty good time.
Yep.
So the only one that changed on there is the championship. That wasn't updated yet, I don't think.
No.
It's like June 20 something now.
Yeah, it's June 28th for the Fishermen.
So that one's going to be.
Yeah. That'll be a little bit later. That'll be your.
Dale, where's that at again? When you watch, shoot us a message. Let us know.
Yeah.
No, so what? If you guys don't remember from last year, the Fishermen, our championship, we don't get to find out until the pre-tournament meeting the day before the tournament. So we won't know until June 27th where we're fishing on June 28th.
Right.
And I think he told us what was in the hat. It was Sharon Harris, Jordan,
and Falls.
Yeah,
which that was the same last year. And it's cool. They just randomly draw it. So, I mean, obviously your method there, if you're a local stick on certain lake, you kind of already have it figured out, Mike Corbusley.
Just give us Harris.
Yeah, just give us Harris. We have a better shot at Harris than we do the other two lakes. But yeah, it's really cool how they do it. I mean, I know that there's some guys don't like it like that, specifically if some of the other lakes in the hat were like Bugs Island or Gaston or out in the Yadkin chain and stuff, but they're not. They're in the Piedmont region, so that kind of hones you in a little bit on like what you're going to be fishing. But they all fish. All three of them fish very, very differently.
They do,
especially that time of year.
Yeah, and if anybody's looking to fish with us, I know a guy that's looking for a partner. So if you have a boat or don't have a boat, he's got a nice Ranger ready to roll, or we can fish out of yours. Whatever you want to do, let me know, and I'll get you all hooked up. He messaged me the other day, so I messaged a few people I know, but I'll put it out here for all of you local North Carolinians if you want to come fish against us with us.
Yeah,
against
we welcome
a bunch of hammers.
Yeah,
man, that for a local series. That one's stacked.
Yeah, it's super stacked. We love it. There's a lot of guys, you hear a lot of mixed feelings about, quote unquote pros being able to fish against you. I guess we've really never had that as a primary topic on a show before, and we don't have to have it right now, but that is something. There's a lot of mixed feelings on that. Like,
let's talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, so for those of you that certain tournament organizations outside of your staple organizations don't allow professional anglers who, and I think it's kind of written in the stipulations. Like,
it's weird how they stipulate it. It's like if you've paid over $1,000 entry fee, some of them are like if you have a wrapped boat.
Yeah.
Other ones are if you fish in more than X number of states. Like, they all do it a little bit different.
Yeah, so it's different. But the narrative here is like it's like you have like pros or those who fish at that level have a competitive advantage over those who don't. Well, I almost think it's opposite. When outside of like guys that just certainly dominate on a body of water, right? When you're looking at a region, not all those guys dominate. So you have mixed feelings. You got guys that are like, nope, I would prefer you don't fish against me because I'm trying to win some money. And then you got guys that are like, no, I want to fish against the best.
Yeah.
Like we welcome it, fishing against guys like Corbishley, Josh Hooks, Jesse Wise, the Sneeds, Ellis, Seth Ellis.
Yeah, because when we beat Seth on Gaston again, or on Gaston or Bugs Island again, I'm never gonna let him hear the end.
Yeah, but we welcome it, right? Because I really think the only way to make yourself better is to continue challenging yourself. And what's a better way to challenge yourself by fishing guys that are potentially better than you?
You've got to have people push you, and a lot of those guys we fish against are definitely better. Nick, for example, and
yep. And I see where Nick's going with his comment.
I think people have a problem with this. People cherry picking tournaments instead of fishing complete series. And I get that, Nick, but at the same time, to say you can't cherry pick one if you paid over X amount, but Johnny that lives on the lake can come cherry pick a tournament. He's not a pro because he's never paid over $1,000. I think that's where the line is. Like, you could make it where I just don't know how. I don't know how you control that. Like, I feel like in Fishers of Men, we don't have as big an issue because you have to pay a fee to the organization to join. You have to pay the tournament fee.
You have to be at the meetings.
You have to be at the meetings to qualify for all the monies. Like, so there are stipulations there to help ensure people fish more. And the payouts are good, so that helps people want to fish more. So I think, Nick, a lot of that you hear comes from, and I'll call it straight out, is like Norman. Because there's a lot of guys over there that fish professionally, from the elites to the MPFL, BPT, Opens, Toyota Series, Invitationals, all of them. And they will show up to some local events and
they'll take your money.
And that, that doesn't suck, sort of, but at the same time, fish better, and then you won't be giving them your money.
Well, and it's like
they don't get to spend as much time on the lake as we do if they're traveling professional.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's not, the other thing, it's that when you're looking at organizations like the Cat Trail, the PBC, and we're just naming ones that are here locally, but you guys all have them in all your states. Dude, like some of those outside of like membership organizations like FOM and stuff, like it's straight up gambling. Like you're gambling, you're hedging a bet.
Even in FOM, you're gambling.
Yeah, and you're gambling no matter what.
If you're paying to fish a tournament.
Yeah, you're gambling. So It's you just got to ask yourself: are you willing to hedge a bet on yourself or not? You know, that's
what if we started a league where you could pay an entry fee, but then you could pick another angler?
Oh man,
like, yeah, I'm not real good on this Lake Falls, but I see Corvishley's fishing, so I'm going to put my entry fee on him.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
and then they got to split the money with you. Like, I suck today, but I'm going to take you, Mike. So no,
I got you on my fantasy.
Or you're
roster.
not allowed to pick yourself.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
You have to pick who you think.
I don't know. I bet you could do something with that. Well, you just leaked it to the world, Pete.
Yeah, if somebody does it, I only want 5%. No, but I don't know. You just thought about that when you talked about you're hedging a bet on yourself. How wild would it be if you could hedge a bet on somebody else?
Yeah,
we'd have a scandal like Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Did you throw that, Pete? I did. I swear to God, I tried my hardest. Just couldn't get him to bite.
Oh man.
No, but you hear a lot of that, and what's funny is we have a lot of pros from North Carolina, but not like your Alabamas or
right.
I'm just gonna stick with Alabama because they've got all
the pros.
But them guys, like, look at your favorite person in the whole world, old Jacob, Wheeler, and what's his buddy Dustin Connell will fish a local derby, absolutely kick dudes' teeth in. You don't ever see anybody complaining, and they usually give the money back to the organization. And it's like, hey, roll it into your classic or use it for the next one to pay out.
We just wanted to use it.
We just wanted to practice.
Yeah.
Like, we just wanted to come out and compete.
Yep.
And again, I feel like if it's somebody at that level, like a Wheeler or any of the Elite Series guys, even the MPFL guys, like, they aren't getting to spend time on their local lakes like you do. Mm-hmm. They're with the travel and their practice and pre-practice and sponsor, requirements and all that. They spend a lot more time on the road not practicing. So to Trey's point, that could be a disadvantage to them. Now, take a guy, and I'm going to say locally just because we know, like Corvishley, who has just spent so much time on Falls Lake, like, he just has it dialed in. So he doesn't necessarily need a bunch of time on the lake. He can get there, see water temp, check a couple spots and say, this is where they are.
Yep.
And he can go out there and catch them. Right.
Yep.
But it doesn't always work that way.
No.
And sometimes you think you have gas in your boat and you don't, and you don't make it to weigh in.
The other thing that a lot of these
guys,
Mike,
I had to, but
no, the other thing that a lot of these guys do, which is not illegal, and it's really not immoral or unethical, is if a pro lives in an area and they got a good buddy that fishes that body of water, a lot of times they'll use them to recon and surveil the lake and figure the fish pattern out, and then they fish together. Right. And, but anybody can do that. It's not like it's off limits to anybody. And that happens a lot of times. So, when we see guys on the roster and we're like, oh crap, Seth's coming to Bugs or Corvishley's going to, Falls, we might make the statement like, I'm fishing for second. But at the end of the day, like,
we're going to kick their teeth.
We're going to try to beat them just as much as they're trying to beat us. And in fact, if it wasn't for the first tournament this year, I never even knew who Seth was, and I met him there. So
I met him when he was yelling at me at the Raleigh show.
Oh, stop yelling at me.
Seth yelling at me.
But yeah, I mean, these tournaments.
You don't get that reference. You better go back.
They're you need to go listen to the D team. I promise you right now. But yeah, man, like it's just a thing, and that I don't think those types of things are ever going to change unless, regional tournament organizations and local ones look at it and be like, no, you just can't fish with us, which is bad business for them, by the way, too.
Man, it's not good for an angler. You've got to have somebody that's pushing you, because if I can go out and I'm fishing a club or anything and I'm winning every tournament, what am I learning? Like, what am I know I'm going to go out and I'm going to win every tournament because I'm fishing against competition that can't compete with me.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, what is it really doing for me?
Yeah.
In your world and a lot of folks listen, like, you always hear the iron sharpens iron. Like, you want that young guy on a team that's coming up and he's pushing you to
he's running faster, he's lifting more.
He's making you want to keep being better or get better or figure out ways to do things better to make up for not having the speed or the strength that younger guy has.
Yep.
And it's the same, like when I fished the club the first couple of years, getting my teeth kicked in, I started doing stuff I didn't want to do because I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I hate doing it. But eventually you get tired of getting your teeth kicked in and you start doing things and figuring more out and getting better. Yeah. But if you're not getting pushed that way, then I just don't feel, for me, it might be different. If anybody out there, it's different for you, let us know. But I just feel like if you're not being challenged, you're just going to keep doing the same old,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually somebody's going to come along, and they're not going to be doing the same old, and they're going to whoop you.
Yep.
And you're going to go, what happened? What do you mean you caught them doing that? I've never even heard of that before.
Yeah. Listen to it's not on the D Team episode, but go back and listen to Cole Harris when he first moved down here from Vermont, and he challenged himself, and he was getting his butt whooped left and right. Nick Kincaid said that's why I fish. That's why we fish again, you guys.
Against us? Why? Because you can beat us all the time?
Yeah, Nick and Mikey kicked our teeth in numerous times this year. But here's the thing. If you're a good human being and you just can socially interact with people, a lot of us are willing to just share. Not the best spots in the lake.
Happy
and
New Year's, David.
Not the best spots in the lake and stuff, but like share knowledge, right? Like here's some of the things this is the way I look at the lake differently. This is the way I approach. Here are some of the techniques that are a little bit more prominent that you may not thought of. These guys have been very open and shared information with us. We've shared information with them.
And if you reach out to me and you ask me what's going on in the lake, I'm not going to tell you exactly where I caught fish. I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
But I will tell you what I was looking for.
Yep.
What water depth, how they were setting up, things like that. And then you can go out and figure out for yourself.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely.
One, I don't believe in going and trying to catch another man's fish. Like it's too hard because everybody does things a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it this year in our tournaments where there was like this back and forth for the first couple where I was catching nothing and you were catching them, or I was catching everything, you were catching nothing.
Yep.
And it's just because I was reeling a little bit different. The way I was popping the bladed jig off the grass was a little bit different.
That's right.
Something's a little bit different, line diameter. So trying to go out and catch somebody else's fish, even if I tell you exactly what I'm doing and you go out and zero, then you're like, well, there are no fish there, man. Well, you just don't know how to catch them the way I was. So here's what I was doing. I was cranking rock in 15 foot of water, and, they were biting, you had to bring it with the wind or against the wind or across the wind. So, don't get upset if you reach out to somebody and they don't tell you spots. If they tell you what they were doing, how they caught them, that's more valuable to me than somebody sending me 15 waypoints and saying, go here.
A lot of times that stuff can work against you. I'll give you a perfect example. I've had Seth in the boat with me before, showing me his method on how to break down a certain body of water, not asking him where the best spots are, not asking him what baits he's throwing, but like, hey, how do you approach this situation? Because it's something I've never seen before. And everything that we did in this, and we're talking about a certain tournament here, like I found the fish during practice. You were working, right? Pete has a real job. I don't anymore. And it just happened to work out. Right. And if Seth wouldn't have helped me understand how the water works in that lake, I could have been completely lost, or I could have found it without him. But I tell you what, it can also do the reverse too. It can hurt you just as much as it helps you by asking somebody, hey, where are you catching fish at? All this stuff, because you go out there, like Pete said, absolutely zero or do terrible, and then you're going to blame it on someone else. And really it's just on you. And Nick even made a point. He goes, that's why we push each other to fish better. And just as me and Pete this year, I've learned an astronomical amount about how these fisheries fish. And if you're from anywhere else in the country, David Fuchs just said, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, David, to you and all your family. They fish very differently in New Jersey. They fish very differently in South Carolina, so David said he got great advice from us on how to fish certain water and not to waste time on dead water. Yeah, absolutely. Streamlining the process, hitting high percentage areas, not wasting time, or sometimes spending more time in an area when you should spend more time, especially like Pete and I. We've had instances where we sat in an area for hours because fish were coming to us.
They're coming to us.
They're coming to us. Why are we going to leave when they're coming to us? Zach Van Voorhees said there's a lot of tournament trails posting their dates. What's everyone fishing? Well, what are we fishing? We're fishing Fishers of Men.
Yep. Fishers of Men again. Probably be all. Might try to jump in a couple club tournaments.
Yep.
Like in especially when they go to the river. But
yeah, cherry picking tournaments. But you're in a club. That's a different story.
Yeah.
That's a club
That's
tournament.
just fun to go run around with
yeah.
the guys and fish. And
Zach, also in April, and I won't give the exact dates right now unless Pete wants to. There's a Take a Warrior fishing event.
Yeah, it's April.
Pete's looking up the dates.
Let me look because I'm dumb. There's the 19th, so it is the day before Easter.
Okay.
So for some, I know that might be tough, but April 19th, Jordan Lake. And I can't remember which ramp we're going at. We're going out of one of the state park ramps. They're actually opening it up early for
New
us.
Hope.
New Hope. Yep. So they're going to open up early for us. We're essentially going to have a private launch, an event. So if you have never fished that one, it is a lot of fun. That is a bass tournament, Take a Warrior Fishing bass tournament. It's free entry for the boater, free entry for the veteran. Lots of prize giveaways. Pretty much everybody's going to leave with something, and it's not about the fishing as much as it is about just going out and having fun on the water.
Yep.
Christine David said that you all booked. I was shocked you were going to come down Easter, but that's awesome. Really looking forward to seeing y'all for that one in April.
Make sure you bring that Easter bunny with you. We're looking for some candy.
Yeah. Cody said that was fun last year. Planning on doing it again. Awesome. There are going to be some changes. Some side pots and things that I'm working out now. So try to make to where the boater can make a little bit of their gas money back if they want to get in it, but you don't have to again. So I think we're going to do like a TWT.
Yeah. Basically like kind of how Bass did.
Yeah. Kind of like how Bass did, $50 a boat and do 90-10. Yeah. We are going to take some of that money and donate it back to the organization because that's what we're there for, to help stem the epidemic of veteran suicide and getting warriors out experiencing outdoor therapy. So we are gonna cap a little bit of that money, but make sure we pay out something if you want to get in on that and do a little bit of the gambling. So I don't have all the details of that. We're still working that out, but more will be coming here. I think we've got a meeting Sunday to go through some stuff.
I'll be a boater.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
And then also Zach, to ask about tournaments too, make sure if you're in the Lake Norman, so that would be the Charlotte, North Carolina area, the Friday before Veterans Day in 2025, which I don't know the exact date, but the Friday before Veterans Day, Special Operations Bass Anglers is going to have their annual charity event up there. That is always an absolute blast. David Fuchs, Mike Johns, Mikey Nadu, Nick Kincaid, like all of our friends. Seth Ellis was there. It's just a great time. It's like $100 buy-in or whatever, but it goes towards a great cause. So those are two tournaments that I'm going to fish every year. And then Take a Warrior Fishing has probably their other annual November event where that's just like 4 hours on the water.
Yeah, November 7th is the SOBA tournament this coming year.
So SOBA is going to be an awesome time. That's a great time. So,
and I don't have the date for the fall event yet. It'll be at Sharon Harris again. Once we get that, we'll make sure we share it with everybody. We're also putting together a saltwater tournament. So,
that's awesome.
I think red fish and trout. They're still working out the details on that. So we'll let everybody know on that. If you're a saltwater angler that's listening, they're going to do something similar to the bass tournament where it's a boater and then they'll pair you with a veteran and go out and do a little fishing. So looking forward to those events. They're always awesome, man.
Yeah.
Veterans are so much fun to get out on the water. And it's pretty amazing how even if you don't know somebody, they'll open up a little bit when you're out there fishing, and it helps them, get some conversation with somebody that didn't live the same life they did. And shared experiences aren't always the best way to deal with trauma. Sometimes somebody that's never been there before, being able to talk about it and not intruding and asking a bunch of questions is good. Just let them talk.
Mm-hmm.
So had a lot of fun last year. Looking forward to this year. Again, that's April 19th, Jordan Lake. Once the signups and everything drop, we're going to drop that. So Ed String will be down for SOBA. Awesome. Yeah, we'll have to line up the house and everything. This is a bucket list for me. I'll start planning for this. You'll make it sound like an awesome event. It is, Zach, man. You'll have a blast. Definitely come out and fish it. It doesn't matter what kind of boat you have or how big or how fast or even if you catch any fish. But April 19th on Jordan's going to be fire.
Yeah, it's going to be
swinging for 40, bro. Off the bed.
It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, you'll be able to sight fish a lot. You'll have fish in multiple stages. So Nick, we haven't dropped the registration yet. We're waiting for that launch permit. As soon as we get the launch permit, we'll everything's through. Like we had to pay a little bit for that since they're opening early and stuff. But we don't want to put the registration out until we get
confirmation.
Until we get confirmation and have that in our hand, just in case something were to happen. You all know how the government works, so.
Sorry, I let out a sarcastic laugh there.
But as soon as we can, Nick, I'll make sure we let everybody know. We'll get you all signed up.
David, Pete will sign you up when you start using our discount codes and our links.
Codes, David.
So you're welcome. Nick, you're a boater now. Congratulations on Nick for owning a boat. So we expect you to be a boater and take your Warrior out there.
Yeah.
Putting him on the spot.
Excited, dude.
Yeah.
Are you and Mikey gonna fish Fishers and Men out of your boat?
He's gonna say no. Christine started laughing at us. Christine just booked the house, by the way. I gotta give a huge shout out to our guy down in Lake Murray, South Carolina, man. Ted Roberts. He has been phenomenal. Pete and I have stayed with him twice now.
He said, I'm getting my own code, bro.
Pete and I have stayed with Ted Roberts down there at Lake Murray. If you guys are looking for good places to stay and you got maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 boats, and you want a house right on Lake Murray, Ted offers a great location. So if you're looking for a place, just go ahead and DM Pete or I personally, and we'll get you squared away. That way you don't have to go through like Airbnb and stuff like that.
Yeah, go through him. He gives you a better rate. He's got a private boat launch.
Yep.
That's where we're going to be staying for the national championship. So we won't have to deal with launching with the other 180 boats.
Yep.
It's literally a 2-minute boat ride across a lake to the big launch there at how do you say it again?
At Dreer.
Is it Dreer or Dryer? Dreer.
Same. Bugs, Kurt, Carr.
At Dreer Island. So we're going to stay with Ted again. We'll have a couple boats down there in case something happens to one, and looking forward to that event. And we're going to be staying for a long time with him this time. Like 9 days or something.
And then I'll probably throw something out there. Pete told me I need to do it. I'm going to be retiring this year. I got my official orders. So come Halloween of 2025, I'll be officially retired from active military service. So I'll probably have to, you know what, we might be able to do like a little, so October 31st, and then we roll right into the SOBA event.
Yeah.
So maybe we can do like a little, like a little retirement gig at the lake house or something like that. So
Nick,
yeah. So maybe Nick, that's something for you and Pete to discuss. David, I fully expect spaghetti and nice meat sauce.
Yeah, we want that sauce. Dude.
That sauce, that gravy.
Not the gravy. We want the sauce,
but 2025 is going to be awesome, man. Like we're looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to some of the. David told me I need to go to Maine in August up there and smash a bunch of smallmouth and stuff like that. So yeah, October, November.
Next year we're going to go to Erie for a week.
Yeah, so we're going to go to Erie next year for sure.
Once you're actually retired.
Yeah. And I'm definitely going to try to make it up to Maine in August because that would be really cool.
Yeah.
So, because our tournament season ends in June. So yeah, David, I'm definitely going to do my best to get up there. But yeah, dude, like this year, with all the major tournament circuits, all of our circuits and stuff around here, I think it's going to be really cool. There's going to be a lot of changes that are happening. So we want to bring you guys, beetle spinner. I don't have any beetle spinners, Christine. I gave you all mine. Looking forward to getting a lot of feedback this year because there's a lot of changes going on. So we want to bring you guys the perspective of people that are fishing the MPFL without forward-facing sonar. We want to bring you some Bassmaster Open anglers and what their perspectives are with not having co-anglers in that league anymore. We're going to get some Elite Series anglers on here to talk about, I guess they have like some minute changes that they made in the Elite Series, but not too much.
I wish I could this year, Dave, but August is not good for me. I got to go to Wyoming for my nephew's wedding. So,
But
Elite series changed what number of transducers?
like
They can
number of
only have
transducers
2.
and some screen size restrictions and stuff like that. But not a whole lot of changes going on with them.
BPT did the 1 period with forward facing.
Yep. So we'll get with our buddy Zach Burge, who's also a D team member and fishes the MPFL, which he is most likely coming back in 2025. I don't know if he announced it, but we'll let him do that. But
you just kind of did. So.
Yeah, kind of get. Oh, I don't know if he is or not. Get his perspective on the changes, the period on, period off rule. So a lot of cool things happening. We want to get some other people on here for you too. We got some plans on getting some spouses of some of the anglers on here to provide their perspective, which we should be able to do that relatively easily.
We got some partners coming on. We got Hobie Eyewear coming on. I think you already said that.
Yep, Hobie's coming on. We're gonna get Carolina Waters back on.
We gotta get Brad in here.
We'll get Brad in here.
We gotta get Brad and Nick.
Yeah,
we gotta get you both. I want to get Mikey and Nick in together too. We haven't been able to make that happen yet.
Yeah, we had Mike. You know what? We'll do that. We'll bring Mikey and Nick in. Maybe we'll try to get them before the FOM tournament series starts for us too. Appreciate it, David. Yeah, that episode with the D team. Appreciate Pete.
Trey was a little under the weather for that one.
I was super hungover for that one. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like those guys throw down like your fraternity brothers in college, or like a guy and like in the barracks.
Said the language was a little spicy, and I heavily edited the language.
Oh yeah.
I took out about 90% of the language.
Listen, I mean, as political as fishing has gotten, and I guess maybe it's always been that way. It's just more exposed now, just like everything else. Those guys really know how to have a good time. They all respect each other a lot. They welcome everybody in their circle of friends, and so. They also do that over some cold beverages, and I drank way too many of them, and I don't ever want to do that again, even though it'll probably happen next year. Or this year, I guess.
We're working on something for the unedited version.
4 Horsemen episode. Nick, you called it. That's a perfect way to put it. I like that. Yeah,
we gotta make it happen.
If for all of you who don't know, like our name, in the Fishers of Men, the 4 of us staying together, we are the 4 Horsemen. We ride or die, man. Like that's how it rolls. We'll bring you an episode on that. So Pete and I vouch to give you our word that we're going to do our best this year to run cameras on the boats.
Yeah, it's going to start with the national. I'm going to try to do the first Fisherman Championship, but for sure, the first Fishers of Men tournament. Man, I cannot talk today. Apparently,
it's all right.
I had to do a lot of talking at work. I'm like talked out.
Yeah.
So our first Fishers of Men Derby, but I definitely plan to have them rolling through the Natty. So like I want to get practice and just capture, because it very well maybe a once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
Who knows if we'll ever qualify again.
That's right.
So I want to have those memories not only for us, but to be able to share with you all. And then I'm going to pay somebody a lot of money to go through the footage and put something that's watchable together, because I don't have the time or patience to do that.
Yeah. sounds like a Rick Salvatore Bass and Peru type deal.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to try to get more video out to everybody. So if there's particular stuff that y'all would like to see, absolutely shoot us a message. I just lip smack.
Yeah, you did.
Turn into you. Absolutely send us messages. I'd like to do. I got an idea. I'm not going to talk about it right now.
Yeah, don't talk about it.
We'll be at Raleigh next weekend. I think that's probably the only show
it is.
We'll all be at this year. I'm going to try to go to Greenville again with Carolina. I think it's Greenville. I don't remember. I went to another one with Carolina Waters last year. I'm going to try to get to that one again. And then I may very loosely go up to Richmond for a day with somebody. So
yeah.
Waiting to see. But yeah, we'll be at Raleigh Friday afternoon-ish. I plan to go up, get out of work at a decent time. But then I'll be there all day Saturday and probably all day Sunday. Yeah,
full disclosure, I probably won't be there on Friday. I am getting Botox injections.
In your lips?
No, I'm getting like a series of like 31 injections in my head.
Yeah.
Is
that starting Friday?
Yeah, so that's Friday.
That means Saturday when you're there, you won't be able to move your face.
I hope that they don't hit.
I hope
like
they
a
do.
nerve.
I hope you're like this. I swear I'm happy to meet
You
you.
look like Tim Allen on Santa
And
Claus.
if you see
like-
Seth, make sure you say hi to him. He'll yell at you, but it's okay.
Seth Ellis will be up there with Carolina Waters and OneCast Fishing. He'll be there Friday and Saturday. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. Pete will be there pretty much all 3 days. 2.5
Probably not
days.
Friday.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try Friday, but for sure Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, Christine, it's a migraine prevention deal. So as long as my doc doesn't hit like the wrong nerve, I won't walk in looking like I got
I hope that everything goes well, but I do hope that they clip a nerve and you got a day where you're just stuck in some really hilarious face.
Yeah.
Just because that would bring me so much entertainment. Every picture Trey's just,
Yeah.
what's wrong, Trey? I just told you my cat died.
Yeah.
I swear I said.
You're so you have no empathy.
Yeah, so if you're in the Raleigh area and you're coming up to the show, make sure you swing by.
Yep.
Check us out. We'll be at either OneCast Fishing, the Carolina Waters. I'm going to do some time at the Warriors on the Water. Take a Warrior Fishing. That I always want to say Warriors on the Water. Take a Warrior Fishing. I'll be in their booth for a little bit hanging out, and then I told Cash and I could help, but I haven't heard back on their schedule yet, so I don't know if I'll spend any time there. But
Yeah,
we'll be up there floating around, hanging out. Ben was trying to get us either demo tank time or seminar time.
Something
so if
to
that
show
did
off
work
that
out,
Nighthawk.
yeah. If that does work out, we'll let everybody know if you want to come see us make fools of ourselves and try to talk to people.
Yeah, with a headset on.
Trey's good at talking to people.
Yeah, I did it down at ICAST in 2022, and it was
Did great.
nerve-wracking.
He did a great job,
Nerve-wracking.
even though he got snagged on his first pitch.
Yeah,
On
on a
snagless jig.
I got the jig right here. Like it's a memory, man. Like all those shows we go to, the classic, the ICAST, the expos and stuff. I always keep all the lanyards with the name tags and stuff. Just, part of the memories that I like to have. So, and then if you got kids too, like it's a really cool thing at the Raleigh show. They got a little trout pond, or usually they do every single year. And you can take your kids, or grown adults can go do it and pay a little bit of money, and then go catch yourself some little rainbow trout that they have swimming around in there.
I'm looking forward to it, Veda. Yeah, Pete, we'll be there Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully we'll see up there. I know Rick will come through at some point. That's always a good time.
Yep.
And I know you two, a bunch of videos and stuff. Hey, I just want to shout out, man. I know I said it last time you jumped on, but I really like what you're doing. Yourself individually, and then you and Rick and everybody putting the kayak stuff out now. It's awesome. So
Absolutely.
keep grinding, man. That's great to see. Veda, looking forward to seeing you, brother. It's been a long time. We need to try to make that fishing trip happen this year. So looking forward to the Raleigh show and seeing a bunch of folks we haven't seen in quite a while. And I failed because I got to get Dale in here.
Dale
Black.
And
talk about line and manufacturing and what line to use when. And I texted him and we had something sort of set up, and then I forgot to follow up. So I suck, Dale, if you hear this. So I'll reach out to him. So I'm super excited to bring you guys that one. We've got a manufacturer that makes all the line types except for mono, because mono's sort of disappearing.
I feel like mono's dying.
Yeah, the co-poly's sort of taking over the mono.
That's my jam.
But braid, fluoro, and then co-poly. He manufactures all three. Gamma fishing line. So we're gonna get him on just to talk about line, the process, what a manufacturer recommends to use and when and why, and get kind of the inside scoop on that, because that's probably, other than where did you catch those fish, like the second most asked question you see is what line do you use when you're throwing this?
Dude, I'm telling you right now, 2024 was the year that I learned how important line was. Not only what line to throw, because I'm pretty exclusive to cheap line, but line diameter and why it matters in certain fisheries.
Yep.
So I think that'll be a great episode, is bringing like a whole episode online to everyone.
I probably don't mess with it enough. There's probably times where I could downsize and get more bites, and I don't, just because I don't have the money to have the same rod with 9 different rods.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
you have a line spooler. Like
imagine, they're not really biting the 14. Well, they're not really biting that. Like zipping it off. You'd have a mound of line at the bottom of your boat
for sure, looking like Jacob Fouts with a big old stack right there.
Yeah, just not my jam, but there are bodies of water I know when I'm going to, like,
Yep.
you're gonna have to downsize.
Yeah. Any of you northern anglers with clear water, or any of you, southern, your South Carolina anglers with your clear water reservoirs with your spots and stuff like that. And then some clear water reservoirs with largemouth, like line size matters.
Yep.
Increasing more bites, you might get bit on 15, but if you drop down to 10 or 12, you might increase the number of bites you get. And we saw that very clearly on Lake Lanier.
Yeah.
We saw that very clearly on Lake Norman.
Yep.
We saw that very clearly on places like, I don't know if Gaston's really like that, but anyways, doesn't matter. Hartwell and stuff like that. So it matters. It truly matters.
Gaston, I think what we figured out at the SOBA tournament, what I figured out at the SOBA tournament, and then passed
Norman.
on to you because you were struggling at Norman.
Yeah.
You were using a slightly smaller diameter line, and we're getting better bites than I was with.
Oh, really?
So I don't know if it was a line diameter thing or not, but
What were you using?
I think I was like
17. Yeah, I was using 15.
Yeah. And I knew because you told me, and I
Yep.
was like, yeah, I'm throwing a little bit heavier. So
Oh, that could have been a factor.
could have been because I was
'Cause
still
that was
getting
clear
bit, but I
water.
wasn't getting the bigger bites
Yeah.
that you were getting. Like,
Yeah.
so whether it was a bait, you were using a different bait, but similar. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, those things sometimes can play a role. There's other
Mhm.
times where fish don't care at all; they're just eating. So
Got to throw a 3/4 ounce.
yeah,
jig
frog on
on
4-pound mono. Like, what are you talking about? But just the North is very different, just
Yeah.
in general. Like I was just talking to my dad. I got him a cash and I got him the John Cruz worm jig rod because he wants to start throwing some more jigs for smallmouth on the river and stuff. And he called me the other day and was like, "Hey, I got a new reel. What line are you throwing on that?" And I was like, "Pretty much exclusively 17-pound.
Mm,
Like that's just my Texas rig flipping. That's just my go-to."
Yep.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm probably gonna do like 10." I'm like, "Yeah, that would be fine. You're
Yeah.
throwing a lot lighter, smaller jigs."
Going for
And
smallmouth.
smallmouth are more
Yep.
visual. Their water tends to be cleaner. Like just clean it, just throw that and you'll be good. So Saturday I caught all my spots on 8-pound braid.
You caught spotted bass on Saturday, David?
I think he meant Saturday after the SOBA tournament.
Oh, yeah. You caught them on straight braid. That's interesting. We're gonna have a conversation on that.
I think he had leader. You had to have leader, right?
Did you have a leader line,
Did you have leader line? If not, that's wild.
or were you straight braid to your hook? Sorry, folks, for this episode that's dropping on like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. We are
recording live.
We are recording live. We do have people that are in the comment section talking right now. But yeah, David, if you can clear that up for us, that's interesting. No,
floral leader.
he had a floral leader. Okay, yeah, that
I was
makes
like,
sense.
dang, you gonna
Because-
bite straight braid,
Dude,
That's
because I'm
bad.
yeah, I
That's
mean,
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple places around here that I'll go straight braid for largemouth.
The river.
Yeah. I mean, full disclosure, my personal best came on straight 30-pound braid to a yeah, it was on a wacky worm, straight 30-pound braid to a wacky worm hook with a Gary Yamamoto green pumpkin Cinco, and that was years ago. And I had no idea what I was doing. I heard to tell you he wasn't coming off, and
you had that joker pegged, bro.
He was on there.
You had that joker pegged.
But yeah, now that I know a heck of a lot more about line and what it,
you're like, that was a dang miracle.
yeah, 100%.
He even ate that. He probably seen so many on fluoro and everything. When he saw that braid coming out, he's like, "Yeah, there ain't nobody dumb enough to do that. Eat that worm." Little did he know, old Trey with no idea what to do was about to jack him.
A 16-foot aluminum boat with a motor that barely ran.
Was it on a bait caster? Or
It was on a
spinning rod?
It was on a Lose spinning rod combo that I got from the Warriors on the water tournament. Yep. And I still got that combo sitting out there. I got 2 of them out there.
Yeah, you can't ever get rid of that.
No, never gonna get
Even
rid
if you
of
never
that.
use it again. It's memories.
Yeah, 100%, man.
That's cool.
9.6 pound large.
You got
mouth,
2
dude.
9.6s.
and I got one that same year, and I caught it on the Daiwa Master. And I think it's a Daiwa rod, and that's out there too. That the angler that I fished with on Warriors in the Water gave me that, and I was throwing that on I was throwing a spinner bait. It was just a white spinner bait on 15-pound test, and I was dragging it over the edges of the hydrilla when there was hydrilla there, and it felt like I caught a bag of socks. My buddy Brian, who's in the Army, he was with me that day, and that was another memorable day. But it's the only fish we caught all day. There's a
Well, if
no
you're only
hunting.
going to catch one at 9,
That's the right one
probably
to
the
catch.
one to
Yeah.
catch, yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, both of them came off of rods that I got at a Warrior on the Water tournament. You know, that's why this Take a Warrior fishing, you know, the Heroes Harvest trips, all those nonprofit trips, SOBA trips, they're so important because the person that you have on the boat with you, and I'm a perfect example of it, the person you have on the boat with you, you have no idea how much it could change their life just in that one 8-hour trip or whatever you have, right? Or you give them something and they take it and they catch their personal best with it, you know, or make a memory with their son or daughter or wife or whatever. So yeah, man, that's what I'm looking forward to 2025 is all the memories we're going to make. And we made a heck of a lot of them in 2024, made a bunch of great friends, grew this podcast. I'm so thankful for that. Had great time with our families. And I can't think of a better way to kind of close this deal out.
No, me either.
Yeah.
2025, another year with all of y'all hanging out with us. Super excited for what this year is going to bring. So glad to have you all along for the ride. And again, shoot us suggestions if there's stuff you want us to talk about, if there's videos you want us to make, any of that. We try to keep it entertaining, but you know, we do this for you. We do it for us, but like we can just sit here and talk and not record. We like to record and bring you all things that you find interesting. So shoot us DMs, comments, whatever. Let us know what you may want to hear or see, and we'll do our best to make it happen. Even if it's a guest, if it's somebody you think would be good on the show, let us know. And we've got a network form now that we can get in contact with quite a few people. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if there's things, right? Like
things.
If not like free stuff, but like if there's something that you want us to see, like you're more than welcome to send it to us. We can show it off. You know, we got those really cool paintings and stuff over there. Well, that painting right there is from one of my old guys. Like if you got something that you're trying to get across to the masses and be like, hey, check this out. This is a cool idea I have. Obviously, we don't want people to steal your business secrets and stuff, but
we're something you can patent. Don't send us until it's patented.
But we're all about helping you guys out. That's what this show is for. So thankful 2025's here. You guys are all back safe, had a great time with your family and friends. Stay vigilant, stay alert out there, and help us continue growing.
Pass it on.
Stay alert, stay vigilant, and help us continue growing a culture of anglers helping anglers, one cast at a time.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.